Hello, Collective. This is Tan from Artemis Oracle doing your weekend energy check-in. So, or next 72 hours. This is live. So, if you're new, thank you for coming on and checking my channel out. If you're returning, I really appreciate your your viewership and your time. Essentially, welcome back. My name is Tam, and Artemis Oracle is my channel. So let's see what the weekend energy is for the collective. Okay, we got two cards. Glow up and money moves. Glow up and money moves. Okay, self-improvement, finding your confidence, personal transformation better than ever. Another card came out, bag secured. Ooh. Two cards came out together. Fake flex soul contract. Ugh, this is not, I don't like this energy together because this seems karmic-y. Right off the bat, that's karmic-y. Let's go together. Is everywhere of anybody who's trying to get some money out of you, whether it's through sending you money? You know, there's a lot of scams going on during the holidays, so beware of that, especially when it comes to gift cards. Even receiving deposits that aren't supposed to be yours. Will glow up in money moves and bag secured. So, like, if you put all of those three cards together, the first three cards together, it's like some of you are going to be seeing some uptick with your finances. And maybe an idea that you may be coming up with this weekend, that or something you may be starting to initiate this weekend, or something that you see come to fruition this weekend. You may be receiving some sort of deposits. You're going to see some sort of security when it comes to your finances. And the reason why I'm saying that is because glow up, money moves, bag secured. You're going to be making some financial moves that are going to work out in your favor, in your in your favor. Yeah, it's going to allow you to be able to get the things that you want. It's going to allow you to like even change the way you even look. Like maybe some of you may be feeling like a little plain Jane, but then there's going to be some sort of uptick with your finances that's going to allow you to kind of, you know, you're going to start changing the way you look, start changing the way you dress, even start changing the way you feel. You may feel more confident and secure because of this financial stability that's coming your way. But then with the money moves, it's a smart decision, strategic investments, building wealth, making my money work. So some of you may start looking into investing your money, seeing how you can make your money grow. And I think whatever actions you're going to be taking is going to be in your benefit, but just be very careful, you know, go with tried and true methods rather than quick, rich schemes. Because whatever it is that you're deciding to do, whether it's you starting some sort of business or you investing in someone or investing in something that is viable and has high potential of bringing growth and more finances to you, there will be, especially if it is your goal, it is possible, you know. It's just, like I said, beware of any get rich quick schemes. I would say, yeah, be careful of that because there may be somebody coming towards you with some contract and trying to get you to sign something where it essentially puts you in, they may take away your security, may bring instability. I would say it'll bring instability And this person, you don't want to be left out in the cold. Like right now, I'm thinking just someone Five of Pentacles, like you being in the Five of Pentacles because you lost out. You took a risk and it did not pan out, you know? So beware of anything that you may be signing. Read if there are any contracts, terms and conditions. Look those over before you agree to something. And then if it's something that doesn't really sit well with you, then that's your gut telling you not to follow through with it. But if it's something that you clearly understand that you believe it aligns with whatever your goal is, then I would say go with that. But it's always the best practice. The best practice is to always read contracts before you sign them, because you do not want to end up out in the cold because someone sold you a pipe dream, something that isn't even going to work out in your favor, something that may leave you in a deficit. But we got the hustle mode. Oh, I didn't know this card was there. We got hustle mode and CEO energy. So some of you may be making some sort of money moves. Maybe you're taking a lot of control. You're taking control. This is someone who's taking control. It says it right there, taking control. Natural leadership, confidence in business. I'm the boss. When I think about this, it's giving me Capricorn energy. And hustle mode, grinding hard, ambitious drive, determined effort, sleep can wait. Yeah. And this is under money moves. So if there's something that you're working on that you've been putting a lot of time and energy and effort towards, and now you're trying to take control over something, maybe you're going to be stepping into a higher role. If it's a job, maybe a promotion, a raise, or it could be just you just starting off something that is just your own, where you're the boss. You're your own boss. That's really good under money moves. So it's like whatever you're working towards, it's like it's going to require you to put in the energy, be very focused, determined, giving me Eight of Pentacles. It's giving me the Devil card too, with that grind mindset. But make sure that you do take time to rest, because it makes no sense to you work so hard and then you croak in the middle of it so that you can't really enjoy the fruits of your labor, Yeah, it's like some of you may be working on something and it's going to work out in your favor. However, commitment issues. I feel like this real fake. I feel like afraid to settle down, avoiding intimacy, fear, loss, freedom. It's complicated. I don't get any love in this reading, which I like because Baby, are you done with love? Yeah. Makes me think about this Zed song, Done with Love. I want to put it on right now. But I digress. I feel like this is about you being committed to yourself, not letting your fears hold you back and putting your focus, time, and energy towards something that you really care about, something that you really want to do. That will help you achieve some level of financial freedom, financial stability. Some of you may be even thinking about how to make money to buy Christmas gifts, It could be that. So I would say beware of anything that has anything to do with contracts. This says soul contract. I mean, I could look at this. I could read this in a love way, but right now I'm not looking at it that way. And that's the next way I'll read it. But I feel like you're going to be so much more focused on your finances more than love. So, but the thing is, you had to commit to whatever it is that you want to do, because that commitment is going to require you to be focused, to start making strategic plans and taking strategic action. You really having to be confident in yourself. I feel like this is maybe a matter of maybe you want a glow up. Maybe you want to see some improvement in your financial sector. If you're going to look at yourself as a CEO, and yeah, you're going to have to be committed to whatever it is. Maybe you do have the money to invest in something. So maybe you're going to be taking some sort of action to follow through with investing whatever money you have and bringing financial stability, financial security, abundance to yourself, so do your research, read your contracts, read terms and conditions, don't get stuck. And it's interesting because I was reading something about Divine program in Amazon. So maybe this is a good reason. Some people may be invited to join Divine review thing on Amazon. When you do that and you receive items that you choose to receive, you have to pay taxes, even though you're not paying out of your pocket for the product, but that counts as income because it is a good and that good has monetary value. So whatever the value is, you have to report that on your taxes and you may end up having to pay taxes. So that's why I say beware of anything like that, any programs like that, because when tax season comes around and you get that tax document and then you have to submit whatever goods and services you received and you have to report that to the IRS, you may end up with a bill. And this is why I'm bringing that up, because it may seem like a good thing. Like, yeah, like I could join the program. And I read this, and this is why I'm bringing this up too. So I feel like it's really good that I saw that. Some of you may be in some sort of program where you're getting free products. You sign up for it thinking, well, I'm going to get free stuff, not knowing that the downside or and the flip side, you're going to be having to pay for it somehow, depending on how much the value of the product is, or in total, how much the value, the total products you received. I hope that makes sense. So I will say be very careful, beware of things like that, because you think you're getting all this free stuff, but in the end you get bit in the ass by a tax bill, you know? So I think that's really cool that I saw that, and then this reminded me of that. So just beware of anything like that. Okay, now when it comes to the love stuff, I feel like some of you may be improving your confidence, right? And you're really thinking about in what ways you can build up your financial stability, right? There may be somebody coming around, maybe you already have built this and you're already showing up as looking like money. You're looking like money. And then there may be somebody coming around trying to act like they're matching your energy. And they may be a karmic energy. So I would say beware of anybody who is misrepresenting themselves. I feel like this is about you focusing on yourself, regardless if you're a masculine energy or not, because this is showing a masculine energy, but women do that too, but in the way that they're misrepresenting themselves to another person, so I feel like if just beware of anybody who's trying to represent themselves as being a certain way when they actually aren't, because they may be trying to get caught up in whatever good is coming your way. So be focused and dedicated towards what you're wanting to put your effort towards, and avoid anybody who may be presenting themselves as this beautiful sunflower, but in actuality, they're a plastic flower that, like they said, water doesn't grow fake flowers, right? You can't grow fake flowers with water. You can't water them, So I would say that's very interesting energy that came up for the weekend. All right. I'm going to leave those cards out just in case anything, because I decided to go into my tarot deck, but I'm going to get the Life Happens just to see if we get some different messages. But I decided to look at this card that came out, gamble, like take a risk. I feel like it's going up because, some of you may be considering taking a risk on something. And, like even if you're taking a risk on yourself, doing something for yourself, like starting a business or starting a channel or anything where you're trying to make money, it is a gamble, especially if it requires some level of investment. Like if you go on Etsy, you have to pay to create a post for whatever product you're selling, that costs money. If you're creating a website, that costs money sometimes, especially if you have a specific vision for your website and the Squarespace or whatever, WordPress or whatever website program, GoDaddy or whatever, is it really cutting it for you? And you want more, you may have to spend money on it to get access to certain things, or even you wanting to invest in stocks and bonds and stuff like that, which is like interesting because I was talking to my kid's father and he was telling me that he gave advice to somebody and they took his advice, they started investing their money, and now they have 6 figures in their savings. I'm like, what the fuck? What did you tell this dude? Why you didn't tell me this? Because I want six figures in mine. So I hope that person stays protected, because when people find out you have money, the vultures come out. It's like after a party and then there's food, and then after meeting, the people come to go get the food. The vultures come in. That just made me think about that. Okay, so gamble. What is this gamble regarding? Let me knock the energy on these cards. What is this gamble regarding? Healer. Change. I just thought of temperance energy when I saw this. These two cards reminded me of temperance, because temperance is about healing. It's also about moderation. It's also about finding balance within oneself, bringing peace within oneself, or bringing peace to a situation. All right. Anything else? Change, healer. Well, what is, I think I'm going to have to go into tarot, but let's see if anything else comes out. Anything else we need to know about the gamble, healer, and change cards? Some of you may be healing some money wounds too, if you have issues with money, because I know people talk about how some people can have this idea that money's bad. So maybe some of you are changing your outlook on that, and you're wanting more wealth and stability for yourself. Laughter came out. Okay. To me, this energy has changed. But I felt like that message may be resonant to someone, what I mentioned about money wounds. I think that's it with this deck. Is there anything else? This card, it's your time. At the bottom. It's interesting. Maybe some of you are going through some financial instability, a financial crisis, and this is where you're considering taking some sort of risk. Because here it's like somebody's reaching out for help. They're reaching out for, like, they need help with money. Like, they just want money to come out of the sky in a way. That's what it kind of looks like, So there may be some sort of healing going on with, but it could also have to do with self-worth too. If you think about, we see a lot of things about money, money, money. I feel like some of you are wanting to improve your self-worth. You may be healing some wounds about yourself. Maybe you may feel like you're not worthy. I remember I used to feel that way. I remember that. Yeah, some of you, it's your time to be happy. It's your time to change the way you think about yourself, get rid of and detoxify those negative thoughts, and start to see yourself in a different light. We go through different situations in our lives, but that doesn't necessarily mean, especially if we've done bad things or things that may be perceived as bad, that doesn't make us bad people, So some of you may be changing the way you look at yourself, changing the way you see yourself, and you're wanting to bring more happiness, more lighthearted energy into your life, because you're already done with whatever darkness or shadow work you may be doing, or this is something you're starting to initiate within yourself. It may feel like it's a gamble, it's a risk, especially if it's still new to you, and you may be wanting to tread very carefully with how you move, because you don't want to regress into past behaviors or past mindsets. But what this is saying is that whatever crisis you've undergone, and it could have been that you took a risk on yourself in some way, but it's bringing some level of healing, allowing you to clear out any toxins or toxic behaviors, toxic mindsets, toxicity in your environment, whether it's with people, places, or things, or situations. And you wanted to bring more happiness. And it's like you've already done the work. This was with this card saying it's your time. It's like you already put in the effort. Now you get to decide what you want to do with the time you have with your life, whatever time you have left on this earth. And it's funny, I said the time you have left, because sometimes we They say time is a human construct, but that's why we have to be very present in this moment, because like one moment, this moment right now is the present. And then when the next moment comes, then that becomes the present. But the next moment is the future, So it's like you have to be present in this moment. It's like you have to take it step by step, Like you see there's these clocks here, and this person's going to be, it's right here. So they're probably going to be jumping. Just like, got to take it one step at a time, because this is a journey that you have to go through. And it's one that doesn't have to be rushed, Let's take it one day at a time. And that's why time can seem like it could either go very, very slowly, or it could be going by very quickly, And they say time flies when you're having fun. So maybe that's what it is, that maybe you should focus more on having more fun rather than, and healing and having fun. Because people think healing means stay still, think about why you're sad, think about how you want to change. Embrace the shadow self, but no, you have to live too, Time still is going to be ticking, life is still going to be moving on while you're healing, But you got to keep pushing. So it's just like something that you may be getting, this information may be coming to you, maybe this clarity is coming to you. Maybe you're feeling a difference within yourself, like you're seeing the changes in your life. Maybe you're at this point where you're willing to take some sort of risk. Okay, but and if it's in a relationship, somebody, why can't I talk? Somebody wants to talk to you. They are afraid to approach you. Like with the stuttering of my words, it's like this person wants to come forward. They want to talk to you, but I feel like they may want to improve a situation. They may want to heal a situation with you. They want to bring happiness and laughter. But I feel like this person may be waiting for a right time to come forward. They may feel like it's a risk to come towards you. With the gamble and healer, maybe they feel there's a risk coming towards you, to talk to you, to initiate something, heal something, improve something. Like I mentioned, the healer card reminded me of temperance. So I'll be interested to see what comes out when it comes to that. But it could be that. All right. But there was some sort of crisis where somebody had to go through a spiritual cleanse, because it does say spiritual bath. They had to go through a moment of like solitude, go hermit, basically to be on their own. Void of distractions, void of influence, and this brought some level of freedom, or is bringing, wow, look at this, freedom and balance, So someone they had some sort of crisis. Now they're going through a cleanse. And we did mention this with the change, a detox. And they're like undergoing a healing process, and they're feeling freedom. They're feeling lighter. They feel, maybe they're feeling more balanced. And that may be why they're wanting to come forward and heal a situation. If this is a love situation, All right. So we're going to find out what this gamble card is for the weekend. I need a song. I need to put this song on because this helps me connect. I need this. There's a specific song that I love listening to. Let me see if I could find it really quickly on this playlist right here. I'm going to have to hear it by myself. Spirit angels, guides. What message does the collective need to know at this time that's for the highest and greatest good? What message does the collective need to know at this time for the highest and greatest good? Let's just the collective needs to know at this time for the highest and greatest good. I have it muted. Okay. I don't think you want to hear me singing. um, okay, we have 3 cards that came out. The first card is the Emperor. These cards are in reverse, but my entire deck was... Hi, welcome. My name is Tan, and this is Artemis Oracle. I read tarot and oracle cards. So not everybody likes that. So my deck was in the reverse, but so the cards came out reverse, but I'm not going to read them in reverse. We have the Emperor, which is Aries energy. We have the 4 of Wands and the 6 of Cups. So the message I was getting in the beginning with the oracle cards is about taking control. You know, wanting to improve your life, wanting to improve yourself, improve your finances in some way, even improve your self-worth. Someone, could be you or whoever you're dealing with, or just anybody around you, take the message as it resonates, maybe wanting to come forward, wanting to heal the situation. They've possibly undergone some sort of crisis and are in the process of healing and wanting to come forward and reconcile. Possibly it doesn't have to be like reconcile to be together, but more like to bring, you know, harmony into the relationship, because we did have the balance card. Maybe they're feeling freed from whatever stresses that they've been experiencing. You know, they had some sort of cleanse after this crisis they experienced. They've gone through like a dark night of the soul, had their hermit moment, and are feeling lighter, freer, more optimistic about life itself, and wanting to bring more balance into the situation. So the Emperor is somebody who is a person that takes control. They are a boss. They embody CEO energy, So this could be you, that you're trying to level up in some way, wanting to improve your finances, have more financial stability, or security. Maybe wanting to make money moves. Maybe you're wanting to invest possibly in some sort of project that can bring you money, or just invest in stocks or whatever it could be. But I feel like it's more so, wanting to do something of your own, wanting to be more focused on whatever it is that you want to build for yourself and be your own boss. Oh, yeah. I don't know. The way I like to look at magic is it's energy, So it seems like somebody was probably just sending you a lot of energy. I know people believe in different things. So, yeah, maybe that sucks to have like so much energy being put towards you or directed towards you to interfere with you when they could be doing their own thing. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. You may want to not frequent that bar. You want to get away from that bar. Definitely don't want to be around that type of energy, especially if you feel like it had an impact on you, then that's something you have to protect yourself from. You have to protect yourself from that type of energy. Oh, then that's, yeah. Yeah, so you need to redirect your attention. Like whatever mm, sounds like you're gonna have to protect yourself energetically. That is like I had some weird experiences as a woman, and years ago. It hasn't happened in a while because sometimes you have to say a prayer, like especially since I'm someone who dreams, you have to protect yourself. Yeah, you had to protect yourself. If you believe in if you believe in magic, if you believe that people can have that influence, then you have to, I would think you would also have to believe that you can protect yourself from that. So you can look into the types of angels that can protect you. I know Archangel Michael is one that a lot of people go to for protection, to sever energetic bonds. And you have to protect yourself in some way. But I think the easiest way that people can tap into our energy is when we're sleeping, because that's when we're the most vulnerable and when we would need the most protection. So I would say look into what angels that resonate with you. You can even look into deities, to see. Definitely praying to God. If you believe in God, if you believe in angels, you pray to them. Ask for their guidance, their protection from anybody who may be seeking harm, that's sending you negative energy, So when you start having those dreams, like before you go to bed, just say a prayer to yourself, something that speaks true to you. I say a specific thing for myself because that it's coming from my heart. So you definitely have to find something that is easy for you to say, that it's just the way you would speak. You could write it down and then even put it under your pillow. You could even say it as part of your prayer. It could become a mantra. It's something that you could say throughout the day. People do that, it doesn't hurt. But it's a way of protecting yourself. But it's also a way of protecting the people around you too. If you feel like anybody is being affected by this energy too, because I feel like if they can't get to you specifically, they may be trying to get to other people around you. So definitely protect yourself in that way. Also, keep your vibes high, because if this is a low vibing person, if you're like above her or them or him, frequency wise, that shit is not gonna reach you, because it's just gonna bypass you, you know. And yeah, just and if you happen to see the person again, remind yourself that you're safe and you're protected, and that, you know, no one can do you any harm. Like, people like to say, no weapon forged against me shall prosper. I think people say that. I don't say that, so. Okay, that's good. Yeah. If they have access to anybody, if they know the person or know anybody that be around you in some way, that you're close to, that you exchange energy with, because when, like, me and you chatting right now, I'm exchanging energy from you. I mean, we're exchanging. I'm not siphoning, and you have to protect yourself. Like right now, the way I'm talking right now, I'm protecting myself, because I don't know you. You could be evil for all I know, because you never know with people, but you just like, yeah. Yeah, this is why you cannot be around people you can't trust. If you already feel negative energy and you already know how the person is, then you definitely need to stay away from them. And this is something I had to remind myself too. Thank you for the reminder. I have to stay away from people who give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. I don't need to be, because if you're engaging with somebody, there's some sort of a connection that you have with them. And even if you don't agree with them or you don't resonate with them, but you're still interacting with them, that's still an exchange. So you have to protect yourselves from that. There's this song that I like. It's called Child of Light. Yes, you have to have faith that you're protected, yeah. Sometimes we don't realize that until we see how it impacts us. Sometimes we're not paying attention. Especially, I feel like, I'm not going to talk about that, because when it comes to mental illness or mental health, I don't want to invalidate people's experiences with my own, So you have to, like, I would say beware of martyring yourself, okay? Sometimes things are taken away because they no longer serve a purpose in your life. Sometimes it's hard to say that, and that's not the case with everybody. It's not the case. Like Job, from what I understand about his story, that was a test of his faith. Having everything, and I think even the people that he loved taken away from him. Remember, if we engage with people, we are in some way resonate with them in some aspect. Like you're talking about this energy stuff, and like me, I'm sensitive to that stuff. If I don't feel comfortable around somebody, then I don't want to interact with them in any way. So I won't even engage with them. Because I know it's if you do and if you do engage with people, and you have to be like, okay, Archangel Michael, whatever bonds I just created, kindly just disconnect them. I no longer resonate with that energy. You know, I no longer resonate with that energy. So right now, this may be a point where you had to start taking control of your life, starting to rebuild your stability, learn the lessons from the past, because when we're nostalgic, we're in this nostalgic energy, we're reflecting on something that we've experienced, but either we're looking at it like with rose-colored glasses and romanticizing it, or we're looking at the lessons that were learned, especially when it comes to your stability. You want to look at what you've already done in the past and what worked for you so that you can regain control in some way, regain autonomy, authority over yourself, over your life, and even protecting, because the emperor, he's also a protector. He's a paternal energy. So this is about protecting your home, protecting your security. And if you have a family, you're protecting your family as well as your legacy too. Oh, that like, you mentioned red flags. That I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at myself because I was like, red flags. Let's play with these red flags. Yeah, but you know what? Whatever you believe in, you give power to. So if you believe that someone can take your energy, then someone can take your energy because you're giving your power to that. That belief. It's the same thing with God. Even people who worship Lucifer, whenever we believe in something, we give power to it. And it even applies to politics, religion, astrology, tarot, oracle, is that we place value on those things. So right now, it sounds like you're going to have to focus on, like if we're going by what the cards say, and this is before you even join the live, you have to focus more on yourself, taking care of yourself, improving your finances. And if there has been some sort of hiccup with your finances, being very focused in your efforts and avoiding anything that doesn't align with you, anything that doesn't feel like it's authentic in any way. You have to be focused on yourself, bring balance and freeing yourself from negative energies, whether it's external or internal. Sometimes, like I mentioned, if your frequency is at a certain level, then you're going to be matching something. You could be either matching lower vibrational frequencies or higher vibrational ones. So it's like you have to be mindful of what you're thinking and what you're feeling, so that you could attract that. I believe that's what the law of attraction is, So if you want good things, you have to feel good. Whoever this person is or people are that you feel like have been throwing negative energy your way, it's like you're gonna, in this instance, you have to be the bigger person, You gotta be the higher person. Because whatever they're gonna be trying to throw at you, you're not gonna resonate with it, and it's not gonna affect you, You have to protect yourself. Hold back. Yeah, when the Four of Pentacles comes out, it's like it's holding back, because you feel safe and secure with where you are, but also it's about holding back from giving into something or investing in things. It could be holding back because in two aspects. It could be like you're holding back because you don't want to be giving into a situation, like you don't want to be given into this negativity, right? Or you're just holding back because you feel safe. You're in your comfort zone right now, right? And this is for whoever's watching and may resonate with the Four of Pentacles. This is about staying still, staying where you feel like grounded and secure. And this could be the advice too, like standing your ground, essentially. holding on to what you value and not investing into what you don't, not putting your time, energy, and efforts towards things that you don't resonate with. 44, 45, is I'm saying that. So I don't know if you'd be seeing synchronicities and stuff. Is my deck still upside down? Let's see what time it is. Okay, my live ends soon because my life will end when I am in my 80s. Okay. Now, hopefully, you know what? I'm thinking about like aiming higher with my expiration date. I'm joking, but it's not funny, Death is not funny, but it is a part of life. Okay. Let's see. This card flipped. The moon. The moon. You know what? The moon. The moon. Hidden feelings. Fears. Fears. Holding back fears. Holding back from your fears. For resting with. It's interesting because we have the Four of Pentacles come out, and that's about holding back. It could be like you're being stingy, but sometimes we have to be stingy. Why I say, I don't know. I like the number 8. So I was like, I want to die in my 80s, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how this world is going to be, so I don't know how it's going to be when I'm in my 80s. It sounds like a decent number, and it's like I'm halfway there anyway. So, so with the Four of Pentacles coming out, and I mentioned like holding back, and they consider this energy like miser energy, but like stingy, like you don't want, you don't want to share. You're 28. Okay, so 80 sounds like it should be a good number for you too. I'm a little over 40. Yes. I have a filter on, just so you know. I just need my skin smooth because look, I have a pimple patch right here. Thank you. People think I'm in my 30s, so. And I have not had any work done. I'm proud of that. I could use some work, but but the moon card, this is about secret fears, subconscious fears. It's also the duality within yourself. I like to say, and I've noticed some readers are saying this too, and I'm like, are you copying off of me? Because I started saying this last year. It's like the domesticated dog with the wild wolf. There's these two aspects of ourselves where we have to present ourselves, like we're so professional, I'm so respectful and kind, but then there's that other side of you that's very feral or feral. I don't know how to pronounce that word. My son constantly corrects me when I say it. That side of you that's like, but then this is about like you having faith, having faith on a higher source and knowing, that despite any fears that you may be experiencing, or you may insecurities you may have, or fears that you may have that may keep you from moving forward, or keep you at a standstill, just have faith that things are going to improve. But the Hierophant is having faith. I like to look at it that way. The Hierophant is supposed to be a spiritual teacher, so it could be that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so yeah. So if you're having any fears that are kind of holding you back from taking any actions or investing in anything, just have faith that you will get the right cues that will let you know how to proceed with certain actions. Like I mentioned earlier in the reading, because I use what's the gossip deck, I had the soul contract and fake flex cards come out. And to me, the way I read this was that it could be like somebody trying to come forward, trying to misrepresent themselves in some way, and trying to like have you sign off on something, sign a contract. So read contracts, terms and conditions. I even mentioned something about the Amazon Vine program. Like if there's somebody that was invited to do that program, beware, because if you start to receive products from Amazon, though you're not paying for it and you're not being paid to review those products, they do have monetary value, and you do have to report that to as income to the tax to IRS, and you may end up having to pay taxes depending on the value, the total value of products. So it's just like beware of those types of things that may be going on now. So this is like the weekend energy. It's a lot. It's a lot. But we know a lot of shit can happen, and it can hit people in different ways. You know? So the most important thing is to maintain balance, equilibrium within yourself. Continue to have faith. Free yourself from any burdens any way you can. If you believe in taking spiritual baths, that's something that you can consider doing too. For who? Any love interest on the board? For who? I'm like, not for me. Not for me. If you watch, do you want to start dating again? Do you want to start? That's you telling me you want to start dating again, or are you asking me if I want to start dating again? Let me see what time it is. Okay. Okay. For me, no. 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 I don't have good luck with that stuff. I have better luck with money than I do with love. I need to focus on myself. I had a good man, but I let him go. Now I'm stuck out here in the desert. But for you, I honestly don't know what your gender is, but I'm gonna be very neutral. Is when it comes to love life, I don't want to look at cards or anything, but okay, you're a male. Okay. Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's like it's both ways. It's the same for men and women, I think. You know, it's hard to find somebody that that can match energy, you know? I think I'm too intense, honestly. I don't like, and most of the guys, like the last two guys that I saw, like one, he definitely wasn't worth it. He was a waste of my time. Shit, he was to me like he was a karmic. He was a lesson that I needed to learn. The last person, he just taught me that I shouldn't give so much, you know, to not overgive. I feel like, you know, if you don't meet anybody, I think it's supposed to be that way, you know? I feel like if you're like going through a dry spell or a dry period or however they call it, there's a reason for that. And that might be because you need to focus more so on yourself. If there is any healing that you have to do to focus on the healing. Like what we will tell our sons, me and my his father, is that well, he will tell them this. There's always going to be girls. There's always going to be girls, you know. And it's the same thing. It's like there's always going to be women. There's always going to be men. You know, it's just a matter of meeting the right person at the right time. But then nowadays, like in the spiritual community, it's like, yeah, you meet the right person at the right time. But is the person like your person, or are they a lesson? You know, are they your karmic? Or are they, you know, are they your soulmate? It's like you don't know. So it's just like with anybody you meet, that's the way I look at it. It's like, you know what? Any person I meet, regardless if they're a love match or it's platonic or friendship or like acquaintance or whatever, it's like there's a reason for it. You know, sometimes people come into our lives to teach us something, or we come into other people's lives to teach them something. You know, and I feel like that's the last person. That I was supposed to teach them something, and they were supposed to remind me something, that I'm worth something, you know, that I deserve so much, you know. I think everybody does in some way, you know, but it's just like reaching that point where you believe it. You're like, I deserve better. I deserve better, you know. I put these cards away. So I really appreciate you coming onto my live. I don't really get that many people. So I appreciate your company and you listening to me ramble on about energy and stuff like that. It's just things I've learned over time. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Why? Why are you glad you came across my channel? Yeah, there's still so much to learn, you know, even if it's not from me. We could always learn something from someone. Thank you. I really appreciate you. I think it's time for me to end the live. Yeah, I'm over. Oh, look at this song. Child of Light was playing. Let me show it to you. Some people are jealous. Oh, that was the song I mentioned because you mentioned Child of God earlier. And one of the songs that I listen to help me with channeling and because music helps me connect with reading. But that was a song from, it's called Child of Light. I love that song because it's like a reminder, you know, that we all have light within us. We were created in the dark, but if you think about it. The song is from Kenio Fuke. Kenio, Kenio, and Fuke, Fuke. I know it sounds like another word, but he has really beautiful, relaxing music. So you should check out that song, Child of Light. So I'm going to end the live now. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. I really appreciate you taking time to, you know, participate and interact with me. So take care. Bye.